Good day everyone, GarageKing here, and we have a rabbit in the shop. Not a dragon, but a rabbit. So we have a rabbit which is the same thing as a Golf MK5, 2004 to 2009. Now they're all the same, or maybe I shouldn't say they're the same because some people may really like rabbits and some people may really like the Golf, but mechanically they're the same. It just depends where you live. So we're gonna do the front struts. So first things first, we're gonna take off the wheel and you're gonna see, we're gonna have some problems with this one, but we're gonna get through it. So first we gotta find the pinch bolt. So there you can see, there's a pinch bolt, well, it's actually the nut on one side, and there's the bolt on the other side. So we're going to have to remove that. As well, we have a little bolt right there, and that's just to give us some slack in the brake line, or else we're not gonna be able to get the strut out. And then up top, we have the bolts. Now these ones are necessary because these connect the links to the stabilizer bar, and as you can see, obviously it's attached to the strut, so we have to undo it. And I was lucky it came free with the wrench, because if not, I would have had to use the impact. There we go. So we can just pull this piece out. Now we're gonna make our way over to the pinch bolt. So you need a 12.14mm socket. I'll put a link in the description. And you need an 18mm on the other side. So just a regular 18mm on the other side will do. Now, I'm gonna take out the bolt. Look at this. Don't even bother taking it to the wire wheel and clean it up, because VW says these are torque to yield, so they can break if you reinstall them again. So no need to waste our time cleaning the bolts. Let's just huck them, and we are going to use new ones. Next up is this big center bolt, and it's a 27mm, that's the metric size, but I use a 1 1/16 inch socket, worked just fine. And then what we're gonna do, crawl underneath, get your 16mm socket out, and there's 3 nuts, and they're attached to the ball joint, to the lower front ball joint. But we need to take these out because we need to separate the steering knuckle from the lower control arm, and that's necessary so we can get the front axle out. You might be wondering why my dog is in the video, and you know what, to be honest, I really don't know why. Let me know what you think of him. If you think he's cute or well-behaved or whatever, I'd appreciate a comment. Anyway, just something different I decided to do. Next on the list of tasks is to take out the outer tie rod, or just loosen it up, really. So we're not gonna take it right off. So anyway, you can see what I did is I loosened up the nut, and now the nut is flush with the bottom of the bolt. And the reason for that is because if you give it a little whack on the bottom, you don't want to damage the threads. So now that we've loosened it up, we can take the nut all the way off, and we can just remove it. There you go, just like that. And this noise you hear, just like this, that's the upper strut mount. That's how bad it is. So now we gotta start loosening everything up. So we're gonna make sure our axle will come out nice and easy. So we're just gonna give it a quick tap with the socket. You can see there, it is nice and loose. Got a pry bar in here, just like so. And I made this little triangle tool myself. I just heated up some steel that I found. There's a better shot of it. And some type of equivalent tool like that really is a must when you're doing a job like this, because if you just pry right on the control arm, you have a good chance of bending it. Everything's free, so now I can work on separating this part here and then undo the top bolts. Now there is a special VW tool, or well, you can buy them off Amazon, and they actually spread the knuckle a little bit, and they work good. But you know what? I just use my air hammer like this just to spread it a bit, but be careful if you're doing what I did, because you just don't want to spread it too much. But there is a tool available. I'll try to find the link for you and put it in the description. Now there's a shot of my knee, and you can see it is totally free and it's hanging. We definitely don't want it to drop on the floor. So I was able to use some bungee cords and secure it. Now you'd think we're at the easiest part now, because you saw the strut was just hanging there. There's just 3 bolts. So all we have to do is 3 bolts. That's all we have to undo. And you can see first one comes out, and standard logic would tell you once you get the other 2 bolts out, the strut should just drop out, and that's it. It's an easy job. Then we put the new one in and that's it. But you know what? These were not factory bolts. I think the thread pitch was a little bit different on them. They were super tight, and they started spinning in the mount. So there was just no way for me to get them out. So as soon as I saw that they had washers on them and they weren't factory bolts, I knew that it was just something was going wrong. Thank God the other side was better. But I wanted to show the hard side, because you know what? If it could happen to me, well, you know what? It could happen to you. So anyway, I got out my cutout wheel, and we're just gonna try to cut the heads off these bolts and let the strut just drop down. I mean, that's the only thing that I could possibly think about. So I'm gonna have to be really careful not to damage the paint here, and just do my best to cut these bolts out. Really not a fun job, and I hope that no one else has to do it. If any of you, if this has happened to you and you have a better way of doing it, or you figured out a way that just could kind of make it work better, please leave it in the comments below and share it with me, because I really didn't know what else to do other than just use the cutoff wheel. And there you can see there's a good shot of the bolt head, just like that. And I'm actually got my leg pushing the strut up. and that's the way I can raise that bolt head. And that's all I could do in this situation. Now, if you have any other ideas, please let me know. For the other one, to make it easy, what I actually did is I cut halfway through and then I used my air hammer, and my air hammer was able to just sort of push it off. So I was able to do that. And finally, we have the new strut. So let's pull this sucker out of the box and take a good look at it. And there is new versus old. So there you have it. Anyway, I found these two little arrows. You can see these arrows on the mount there. So what those are going to do is they're going to align with the rear of the car. So this way, when we place it up into, I guess, the cavity, if you want, of the car here, those two arrows will go at the back holes. So that's the way they came out. So that's the way I'm putting them in. Now the three 13mm bolts for the front strut assembly, they're 15 Newton meters, which is 11 foot-pounds plus 90 degrees. So they are torque to yield bolts, which means that you should be replacing them every time you do the struts. So they don't cost much, and it's just cheap insurance. And this way you won't have a problem like I did when you have bolts that are stuck in there and just don't want to come out. So now it's the easy part of the job when we're just putting everything back together. So this is the part of the job that I like the most. So I'll throw up Bandit and let me know what you think about him. He seems pretty happy. And hopefully you caught those torque specs at the end. The Jetta is less, don't confuse it. It's easy to tell the bolts apart. So here's the assortment of tools I used, just a ton of them, but you know why I needed so many tools? It was because of this. This writing on here means usually that it is from a wrecking yard. So that one strut was from a wrecking yard. Somebody put it in and didn't follow the instructions, and yeah, caused me a lot of pain. And you can see, you know, all the tools that I had to use to do these. Now, hopefully you shouldn't need half of these tools and your job should go pretty smoothly, but because I had those non-factory bolts, and you know what, even if they were non-factory, if someone would have just used the right bolts and torqued them correctly, they would have worked. But anyway, because I had that hassle, I'm not gonna go over it anymore because you already saw what happened. So on that note, if any of you mechanics out there or DIYers have some good stories to tell, or maybe stuff that happened to you, I'd love to hear about them in the comments. I read all my comments. Other than that, you know, that's it. GarageKing over and out, and I hope to see you next week.